Hi, welcome and Happy New Year and welcome to 2017. Today we're gonna review two Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The first card is Dinomist Howling and the second card is Lyrical Luscinia Independent Nightingale. So let's begin with the first card, which is Dinomist Howling. This card is a continuous trap card with the effect: when this card is activated, you can place up to 2 Dinomist Pendulum monsters from your deck in your Pendulum zones, and if you do, you cannot Pendulum summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except Dinomist monsters, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if this card is already face up, you can tribute 1 Dinomist monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So what is my opinion on this card? I gotta be honest with you, I love this card. I think this card is really good, and in a Dinomist deck, this card is going to be really important. I mean, if you're gonna build Dinomist, you need to run this card. I don't know how many copies you wanna run, but maybe 1, possibly 2, maybe 3, I don't know, but I will probably run 2 copies. I just don't know. But I think this card has a lot of potential. The first effect is, when this card is activated, you can place up to 2 Dinomist Pendulum monsters from your deck in your Pendulum zones, and if you do, you cannot Pendulum summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except Dinomist monsters, even if this card leaves the field. So the first effect is pretty solid. When you activate this card, you can place up to 2 Dinomist monsters, which means either 1 or 2, so you can complete your Pendulum scale, which makes this card really good in my opinion, because something that this deck really needs is being able to complete their Pendulum scales, and when they can do that, this deck becomes really powerful, because they have really good Pendulum scales, and I think this really helps out with that. You can complete your Pendulum scales, and that's what the first effect does. It helps you complete your Pendulum scales in Dinomist, and that's really good. The second effect of this card is really good as well. Once per turn, if this card is already face up, you can tribute 1 Dinomist monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So basically, it says target 1 card. It doesn't specify spells, traps, or monsters, or Pendulum scales. So you can basically return 1 card to your opponent's hand. That's really good. When a card says that, you know it's good, because that means you can return anything on the field back to the deck or to the hand. And when I say deck, I mean extra deck, because if they have a Xyz monster, you can basically just tribute 1 Dinomist, return that Xyz monster back into the extra deck, which is really good. And of course, if they have anything else, you return it to the hand. So that's pretty good. You can return cards to the hand or the extra deck, which is really solid in my opinion. So my overall thoughts on this card: I think this card is good, I think it's really solid. You need to run at least 2 copies of this card, maybe 3. I think the first effect is really solid. It helps you complete the Pendulum scales, which is really important in Dinomist. So yeah, first effect, amazing. And the second effect, you can tribute 1 Dinomist monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. That's just an amazing effect as well. I think this card is good, I think this card is useful, and I think this card is really amazing. Let's go to the next card, which is Lyrical Luscinia Independent Nightingale. It's a level 1 Wind Wing Beast type fusion effect monster with 1000 attack and 0 defense. It requires 1 Lyrical Luscinia Assembly Nightingale plus 1 Lyrical Luscinia monster to fusion summon. And this card has 3 effects. Effect number 1. If this card is fusion summoned by using an Xyz monster whose original name is a Lyrical Luscinia monster as a fusion material, you can make this card gain 1 level for each Xyz material attached to that monster. Amazing effect, by the way, amazing effect. The second effect is, this card gains 500 attack for each level it has and is unaffected by other card effects. Amazing effect, because this card is already 1500 when you summon it, because it's a level 1 monster, so that's really good, and it's unaffected by card effects. That's just even better in my opinion. Being unaffected by card effects is amazing. The third effect is, once per turn, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each level this card has. So because it's a level 1, you can burn your opponent for at least 500. Which is really good, because 500, it's not bad. But this can be even more powerful with its 2 first effects. So this is a really solid effect in my opinion. So what do I think about this card? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, I love this card. I think this card is really good in a Lyrical Luscinia deck. And I think this card can be a really powerful power play for you when you do play Lyrical Luscinia. This is the power play Lyrical Luscinia needs. And I think this card definitely does Lyrical Luscinia a favor and it makes the deck a lot stronger. So let's go to the first effect. The first effect is really good. Basically, if this card is fusion summoned by using an Xyz monster whose original name is a Lyrical Luscinia monster as fusion material, you can make this card gain 1 level for each Xyz material attached to that monster. So say that that monster has 3 materials, that means that this card becomes level 4. That's not bad, because that means that this card becomes a 3000 attack point monster, which can burn your opponent for 2000 life points. That's insane. And it's unaffected by card effects. And that is what makes this card so good in my opinion. You only have to have 3 materials on your Lyrical Luscinia Assembly Nightingale, and as long as you have 3 materials, this card becomes 3000 attack, it becomes level 4, it can burn your opponent for 2000, and is unaffected by card effects. And of course, this card can become stronger and stronger depending on how many, fusion materials your Lyrical Luscinia Assembly Nightingale has. And I don't know this, I'm not sure, but what if you fuse 2 Lyrical Luscinia Xyz monsters? Does that mean that you can basically combine the total amount of Xyz materials from those Xyz monsters and add that into this card? I don't know, but if you can do that, amazing. Say that you have 2 Lyrical Luscinia Assembly Nightingale, they both have 3 materials on them, you combine them with this card is gonna gain 6 levels and become a level 7 monster. That's just amazing. It's just gonna become a level 7 monster. Insane. And it's gonna get 4500 attack points, and it's gonna burn your opponent for 3500. That's insane in my opinion. Really insane, because level 7, that's 3500 extra attack and 3500 extra burn. If it works like that, I do not know if it works like that, but if it does, amazing in my opinion. Amazing. And of course, unaffected by card effects, that's just a bonus. I think this card is great. I would give this card a 10 out of 10. I'm definitely gonna pick this card up. I'm gonna run 3 copies in my Lyrical Luscinia deck. Lyrical Luscinia Independent Nightingale, amazing card, love it. I think this card has a lot of potential. I think this card has a bright future, and I do think this card is really good. But please tell me what you think in the comment section down below about these 2 cards. What do you think about Dinomist Howling? What's your opinion on Lyrical Luscinia Independent Nightingale? Do you like these cards? Do you hate them? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're good? I think they are both amazing cards, and I'm definitely excited about them. But please tell me, comment section down below. And as always, push the notification button down below to get the notifications on my upcoming videos. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe, and see you next time.